Here's an interesting question that I actually do know the answer of. Why do so few developers have the balls to publicly speak out against wokenism? With more and more people coming to the realization that wokenism was never really about diversity and inclusion to begin with, and it's really about mass controlling opinions and forcing ideas down people's throats through the power of peer pressure. Why are video game developers so silent about this? Why do they stay at publishers like EA who force them to put woke ideology in their games? Is it because they're afraid of losing their jobs? Is it because they think that not being woke would be interpreted as being against diversity? I think that a high-quality game released by a developer who publicly speaks out against wokenism should send a clear signal to other developers and the rest of the world that people are tired of this insanity. So, it's a good question, but we need to elaborate a little bit. So, like, what exactly is woke? You'll notice that what is woke differs from person to person, as well as the type of woke that they can stomach, very interestingly, from my observation, differs from profession to profession. So if you make a race-swapped character or a gender-swapped character, usually the people that dislike this the most are the story writers, which is why most writers at these companies are shit, because the ones that complain got fired. While if you make a female character ugly as sin, it's usually the artists that complain, and many artists also got fired because of this. Usually, if you look at the trend right now, especially in Western gaming, all female characters have to be over the age of 30 or over the age of 35, and they have to look as masculine as humanly possible. No birthing hips. Masculine female characters. I mean, look at the Diablo 4 character editor, and you'll see what I mean. Body type A, body type B, so actually I shouldn't even be talking about female characters, but you can usually tell which one is the woman based on the one that covers her breasts, because the males still need to look sexy and attractive, so that people can masturbate to. It's just the women that is not okay. So yeah, like that is the first thing. It's you need to understand like how many people genuinely care enough to speak about it, right? Because if it's not something that you really care, that it's just something annoying, then most people aren't going to stick their neck out, right? So like usually the silent majority like legitimately doesn't care about these issues, especially like if they've been in the industry for a long time, to the point where I can't really say that they lost their passion, but they definitely like just use it as a job, right? So like they're going to work in order to do the things that are required from them, and then they want to go home. So they don't really care that much about how good the game is going to be, or how good the thing that they're doing is going to be, because you gotta understand, when you work at a major corporation like a AAA, you got like very little room for creativity in most cases. Usually like the HR lady or like the project lead demands something from you, and you have to do it to their specifications, so you don't really have like that much room for creativity and wiggle room. So like when they're asking you like draw a female character without tits, with strong jawlines and broad shoulders and over the age of 35, you just do that, right? Because that's your job, so you don't really have the ability to speak out. Now there have been people that did speak out, believe it or not. Usually these have been people that are very talented, people that have been at the company for a while, and they were pretty much certain that due to their skills and talent, they're not going to be fired. They were absolutely wrong, because not only did they get fired, but the apparatus of persecution and the systems of censorships in place in these large companies are astonishing. It goes all the way from the diversity officer to the HR lady to even activists that are outside the company. So we're talking about blacklists, we're talking about game journalists, we're talking about activists. So it's very difficult to fuck with the system when the system is so large and so encompassing that it spans across multi-million-dollar corporations. So what can happen? Like, let's say if you work at a company like Blizzard, right, and you start complaining about shit, you're most likely going to be told to shut the fuck up. They will tell you that, okay, we as a company have matured and we just don't draw female characters this way, and we find your opinions to be very concerning, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you keep making a stink, they probably have you on file So every single person that works at these companies, whenever they do something wrong, it's being taken on a file. And that wrong thing can just be like a colleague complaining that she believed you were mean to her that day. Or, another person saying that they left a cookie in the fridge and when they went to take it, they didn't find it because you took it, right? So like, all of these things, including like stuff that maybe you were late one day, including stuff that maybe you were disrespectful in a meeting or whatever, you failed to do a project. Like, all these things, that they're just being placed on a folder. And normally, if you don't cause problems, if you shut the fuck up and just do your job, that folder is never being brought up. But like, the moment they want to fire you, they open that folder and they will say, oh, we have received numerous complaints about you, so we're going to place you on a personal improvement project, which is basically like something that it's very difficult for you to complete, almost impossible. If you don't complete that, you get fired, right? So like, technically you don't get fired for speaking out against wokeness, but you do get fired for like that folder. And again, like, it's almost impossible that if you work at a place for 5 years that you don't have a file, that you've never like done anything in order to get in trouble, and that none of your colleagues reported you to the HR or something like that. Now, if you're a person that's a higher up, so like you go above the HR, like upper management, or like some suits, and they want to get rid of you because you're a problem, then what they do, and this is something that actually works, is allegations. Like, allegations work 100% of the time. All you need is like a couple of women to come forward, and they don't even need to prove the allegation. Like, as long as the claim is made, automatically measures are going to be taken. Like, we saw this with Johnny Depp, right? So when Johnny Depp was accused, immediately people stopped working with him. Immediately he got treated as if he actually did all of those things that he was accused of. Johnny Depp was lucky that he actually had tapes where Amber Heard was said that, of course I hit you and there's nothing you can do because I'm a woman who's going to believe you, right? So like, if he didn't have those recordings, his life would still be ruined. But like, the thing is, like, once the allegations drop, the media picks up on them, and immediately the measures are taken. Like, they're never taken to trial. You're never going to see your day in court. You're never going to be able to defend yourself. The pressure is going to be so that you quit your job. And once you quit your job, someone that's a lot more woke-oriented gets your place. So this is why people don't speak out, because they see these examples, they see what happens with people that do speak out, and they notice that the consequences are never the same. And I like, you'll notice that sometimes you don't even need allegations. I think it was like a higher up at Marvel in 2016 donated money to Trump's campaign, and that was enough in order to get him roosted out from the community. So that's why people don't speak out. And this is why most of these companies are now shit, because they lost their talent. Like, most people who cannot speak out, they're going to leave, because like, it's still a problem that bothers them. Like, they do not like what these companies are becoming. And the main problem is like removing all sorts of creativity. Like you do not have any space to spread your wings and allow your imagination to flourish. You're forced, you're constrained to do certain things because like, this is what we're doing now because we matured as a company bullshit. So it's one of the main reasons. Now fortunately, without talented people, you get to see that most of the games that came out this year didn't even run. So like, most companies had to apologize because their games weren't working. And if this continues, then more and more people are going to be turned away, not because of the wokeness in the games, but simply because of the fact that the quality of the games is dropping dramatically. As for why companies get woke, I mean, ESG money is genuinely a thing. Like, if they decide to tap into some ESG funds, so now they need to do this thing to prove that the social and the governance is there. It can also be simply because of pressure from other places. Like, if they do not toe the line, if they go like anti-woke, then they will have difficulty finding talent. They will have difficulty working with other companies. Like you see with Russell right now, like, there's people just don't want to work with him. Like, simple as. And on top of that, there's also blacklist going on, right? So it's not that you just get fired from a company. you get blacklisted, which means that it's going to be very difficult to find another job in the industry. It's going to be very difficult to even launch your game because like the media is going to attack it or ignore it. So yeah, it is what it is. This is what I got from talking with other people from within AAA companies. So I suppose now you know. Let me know what you guys think, and don't forget to check the pinned comment, and I'll see you there. Take care.